So Generation Z.
Well, I feel like stereotypically it's like lazy, narcissistic people, but in reality, we all kind of like care about each other and use like the internet to do that.
And are you 16?
I'm 17. I'm gonna be 18 in May,
Great. And then what?
and then I'm gonna go to a community college locally, and then hopefully transfer out of state maybe.
Oh, I feel like Generation Z is my generation. I'm 16, so obviously it's my generation. And for me, it's like it defines like who I am, but that can also come out in a negative way because of all the stereotypes out there. Like teenagers like aren't as knowledgeable, like or I don't know, like just up to mischief and stuff like that. But like to me, that's my generation. Like that's what I've like grown up to know and like I know the like stuff that we're able to do, and so to hear those stereotypes like kind of hurts my feelings.
So what are you able to do that people older than you don't understand?
We're able to accomplish just as much as they are, like as adults are. Like they have more experience on us, but like we're living in the now.
We
Like
can accomplish more.
yeah,
Technology.
yeah, we can accomplish more with our technology, and so we can like go greater and like bigger than they are.
I feel like Generation C is more like a techie generation, which is like involved technology in it, and that's why all the we get like that's what we're known for, basically, and I feel like that's wrong because like that is part of a generation, but it's like helping us with our future.
So you're not just limited to your tech skills.
Yeah, like it does help us like with college application and all that stuff. But I feel like we're known as being like techies, like being on our phones 24/7, texting, calling, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, what else would you like to be known for? What do you think's more fair?
Something like more like a change, like we're changing the world kind of thing.
How?
Um, Maybe like helping other people and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I feel as if Generation Z would be known as a misunderstanding or misunderstood because teenagers always want to get their word out there but are misunderstood, or their parents or grown-ups take them for a whole other way. As if, like, say you were an adult and you had your child and they wanted to be something. Like, for example, I want to be a graphic designer, and my father thinks that that isn't a very successful education, or it won't get me far in the life. But I feel as if whatever makes me happy would make me successful in life.
How old are you?
I'm 16, I'm almost 17.
Okay. How old are you?
16, almost 17.
Alrighty. How do you think that your generation will change the world when you get in power? When you're in the professions in government, do you think things will change? I hope.
I think so. With how advanced technology has gone, we're the most advanced we'd ever been in our history. So just the technology itself can create amazing things.
Like what? Can you think of an example?
We're so advanced in medicine. It'll help advance medicine and speed, like how tests are done to create new medicine for certain diseases that we haven't had cures yet.
I just think we're gonna definitely be more advanced and like more empowered, and like people who are like older than us are gonna like really like notice the change with us. And I feel like my generation Z, like we're not gonna look at the generation after us as like older people do us at us, because I feel like we're more about equality, and like we have learned to accept that more than older people have. So
I feel like the generation that we're becoming, it's helping us like be more stronger, more independent, not as like the other generations. They didn't have that technology, as I said before. So like with technology, once again, it's helping us move forward and do all those things.
I feel as if this generation is more accepting of others, and the Generation Y, it wasn't more accepting of the gay rights or the feminist stuff. It was more against it. I feel as if, because my parents are against the gay.
Are they what, Generation Y or are they Z?
They're Generation Y. and they're against it because they feel as if it's not.
Generation Y is like ends at
But-
35.
Oh,
So they're probably Z.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
And Z is different than
yeah,
Y.
but they're not accepting of that, and it makes me upset as why they don't, and they wouldn't give me a certain reason why. But I feel like our generation would make a big change in the world of becoming accepting of others, and the technology that would help us later on in the future was something that would be very hard to pass or get through.
What do you think about the differences between men and women in your generation? Like, it's you all four are women that are speaking up, and there's more women in this class, and they speak up and are more vocal. What's going on with that? What's happening with the guys?
I feel like the guys are more afraid to speak out their word and be afraid to get judged by their friends of what comes out their mouth. And for females, they just want to get what's out there and let people know what they want or what they don't want.
Any other thoughts about male-female differences?
I feel like young ladies or like women, like they want to, with the whole feminist thing and like guys not taking it seriously or like other people not taking it seriously, I feel like we like want to make ourselves known and like get our ideas out there and like prove ourselves and like prove our worth and value, and so yeah.
So it's like, I'll show you kind of a feeling that
Yeah.
we're capable and whatever. What do you think the whole Trump phenomena is doing in terms of attitudes towards gender roles?
Oh my gosh. Well, honest. His locker room talk is making it easier for young men to get away with doing things to women. I don't like talking about him. And it's like he's making it socially acceptable to sexually assault women and to make them feel degraded about themselves, and he's victim shaming basically.
Yeah.
He's saying if they still talk cordially to me after what I did, it wasn't bad. They liked it, they enjoyed it, and it's
Or what he's saying now is it didn't happen.
yeah, even though there's video evidence and like voice audio recording about it, and
And like just think of like the little kids who like they're in their room but their parents are like watching the debate or something and they hear it, like they're gonna grow up to that. Like that's normal to them if they're hearing it for like the first time. They're being introduced to it as a normal thing, and it's not normal. And so he's just putting negative thoughts of women and like sexual assault and things like that into young kids' mind, which can be the next generation.
To me, that the positive thing is everyone is talking about it, and people are coming forth with their stories. So it's like letting people know this is a big problem, and I think that's consciousness raising. What about the chart? Well, you all agreed that you're pretty anxious and sometimes depressed. Does anyone want to comment about that? Repeat what we said in class about why you're anxious. That you're just stressed.
We just have like a lot of pressure on us, like
Yeah.
with our homework and our tests and school and like our extracurricular activities. Like not only that, like that's a 10 out of 10 like pressure load right there, but I feel personally like I have expectations to live up to. Like my mom and my whole family like expects me to get straight A's, go to college, like be successful in life, and I feel like if I don't live up to that, I'll be a disappointment. And so like I'm trying my best to like impress them or like get myself to the point they want me to be at. And so along with that and like the homework every night can be like 3.5 hours for me, and then I'm up till like midnight doing
and that
it.
could be up to like one subject too.
Yeah, that can
And
be
we
up
have,
to
like,
one
7.
subject. Yeah, and we have 7 different classes plus our extracurricular activities.
And so let's just go around. How many hours of sleep do you get a night during the school week?
4.5 to 5.
Like all in 1 week, or like
No,
each
a night, average.
Yeah, 4.5 to 5. 7.
6 or 7.
Between 5 and 7.
Yeah, and someone pointed out in class that teens need like 9.5 hours for optimal development and growth. So does the lack of sleep make for more anxiety, or just makes for depression?
It creates both because it affects both like the hormones that trigger that in the brain. With lack of sleep, it can cause multiple things. It's just the main thing it affects is the anxiety levels and the depression levels.
I feel like the lack of sleep would make us more exhausted to go to school and make the effort in class to do all the work that we have assigned, and to go home and do more work after the classwork that was assigned, like finish it and do more homework after that. It's just like, why would I have to do more work if I learned it in class when I could just go over the paper that I did in class and study off of it and get ready for the test, instead of, oh, here's another assignment, it's due first thing in the morning.
You said you're going to do graphic arts. What kind of profession would you like to have?
Like business around there.
An entrepreneurial kind of thing?
More like like be an accountant.
I want to be a gerontologist.
Why?
Just because when I was little, my great-grandma lived in a retirement home, and my grandma worked at the same retirement home. And when I was little, like too young for school yet, I would go with her all the time, or I'd go with her like after school. And so I like became really friendly with the community in that place. And I really like old people. It's just like that's what I say, but like
old people.
but like I love them, and like I love helping like them out. And I love seeing like that generation and like that.
The stories you hear.
Yeah, the
are
stories.
amazing.
And just like seeing how like kind of how they've like evolved, kind of.
Their history, yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of work do you want to do?
I want to do journalism.
Great. Good. So the twingy thing that your generation is growingly narcissistic. Do you think there's any truth to that? Self-centered,
I don't
aggressive.
think so. Everyone's accepting of each other, and some kids here may be narcissistic, right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
But I don't think it would affect us in a way, because we would just shrug it off and just continue our day. Or it may affect others, and it could take it to a whole new level where they could get depressed or just take it seriously and be like, oh, like they're self-centered and I don't. Like, the way they act towards others, like, their behavior around other people, or just in general, how the way they act towards others.
Do you know some people like that?
Yeah.
Also, I feel like people can confuse narcissism with like not liking someone. Like if someone doesn't treat me with respect, I'm not going to treat them with respect, but that doesn't mean I'm narcissistic.
Right.
It means you have self-respect. There's a difference.
Okay. Anything else? I'll let you go to lunch, but anything else you'd like to put out there that you'd like people to know about your generation?
I feel like with every generation, the past generation will criticize that generation for what they see and what they don't like and what they don't believe in. Because every generation has had something negative said about them. It takes one generation to like change the view. It takes one movement or one thing to happen that'll change the view of that generation.
It takes a snowflake to create an avalanche.
Or a sound.
So what do you think are the key events or, the defining moments for your generation so far? Not that you're over yet.
Using social media in a positive way, since that's the way this whole generation and the world's connecting now, is through social media.
Yeah. I feel as if all the fundraisers and stuff we do are the walks. That's making a big impact in our world to help support like breast cancer or the Walk for Autism. I feel like it's a great idea to do that stuff so families can go out and enjoy their time together instead of being stuck on their social medias all the time. Because in my family, all around me, there's cell phones out, and I've never seen one of my parents move their head up and like have conversations with anybody when family's around. So it's just social media or our cell phones have taken over, but I feel like we could learn how to limit our time on our cell phones instead
So
of...
both your parents have their heads in their
Yeah,
phones?
always.
Do you ever say anything?
Yeah, my uncle and I do, because we feel as if it's not correct or polite to do that when family's around, and I mean, they'll get off of it for a couple minutes and then they go back on when nobody's paying attention.
They're addicted.
Yeah.
Do you think it's an addiction?
Oh, yeah.
Sure sounds like it.
I feel like this generation has created like an addiction with technology because the past generation never had it. And so it's like they're intrigued by it, and then it's like they get used to it so much they don't realize how much they're doing it, and they don't realize how much harm they're doing to themselves and like their eyes by looking at this little screen for hours at a time.